Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Beyond Light, Season of the Chosen Intel. And today we got a new exotic quest in the game. This is for the Dead Man's Tale Scout Rifle. It's pretty cool. I recently got it, took it into some Crucible, and it did quite a bit of work. The quest to get this exotic is fairly long, though I will say very fun. Very much a 0-hour type jumping puzzle all the way to the end. And of course, in doing it, I gathered a few tips, tricks, cheeses, and a glitch that you can use, as well as one that you might want to use after you actually complete this quest. I'm going to get to all the information regarding all these things in just 1 second, but first I just want to remind everybody I'm still doing the giveaway on my YouTube channel. The next one will be at 50,000 subscribers. All you have to do to be entered into that giveaway is like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the notifications, the bell that's right next to the big red subscribe button, and follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. And as always, if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll have a secret hashtag you can leave in the comments section to be entered into that giveaway a second time for this video. And remember, those secret hashtags stack between all videos. So if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, why not go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. Now, as we're starting, you can see I am in sort of a glitch spot. Big shout out to my buddy Sinister. He actually found the route to this. And at present, I'm not actually sure of the full utility of this glitch. Meaning, I don't really know exactly how it's going to come in handy, but I think it will. The reason for that is, like I said, the actual jumping puzzle to get this quest done is very long. And there are certain places where I can see it being difficult if you were just going to do it by yourself. But in this particular glitch, we found our way out of the map, and then I was actually able to find several different checkpoints through this method. So there is a possibility, though I haven't been able to try it at this present time, that you could get out of the map this way and then use some of these checkpoints to maybe kill yourself and then warp inside of the map and bypass certain sections. So if you ever were doing this solo, this could come in really handy. But again, at the present moment, I'm not totally sure how well this will work. As you can see, as I jump over this section, I'm going to hit this particular loading zone. Now, at the time I was actually doing this, I didn't actually know where this loading zone was because I hadn't actually gone into the actual mission yet. But if you're watching this and you've done this maybe a few times now, maybe you can actually update me on maybe a best possible way to use this. But I do think it will come in handy. And getting to this particular spot was fairly easy. As soon as you spawn in to this particular mission, there will be a closed door in front of you. Now, normally you'll turn around and go through the jumping puzzle sort of out the airlock, it'll seem. You won't actually go through the door. But Sinister was just trying to get above the door. We actually thought there might be a path up there originally, and he actually was able to find a way over the door. So again, big shout out to him. Use this in good health. Give it a try if you want to maybe do some out-of-bounds exploring or maybe find a way to bypass sections of this particular mission. The next thing I want to inform everybody is that once you actually have completed this mission, the mission will become available to farm for the random rolls on the Dead Man's Tale. That's right, we have another exotic in keeping with the Hawkmoon trend that has random rolls on it. Now, when you complete the Presage quest to start with, you will not get a random roll on it. You'll get the same thing as you had on the Hawkmoon. There'll be one roll perk that has a question mark. But then this will become available in the same map screen. You'll just be able to go to the Tangled Shore, which is where this is found, and pick up this exotic quest again. Now, I'm going to assume that just like the Hawkmoon, this is for one random roll every single week per character on an account. But just like the Hawkmoon, I believe that if you delete a character, you can then farm this quest again. If you haven't seen some of my previous videos talking about this, I know deleting a character isn't a big thing for everybody, but there are very rarely any activities that can be duplicated. There used to be a lot more, but Bungie has done a pretty good job of taking those out of the game to this point. However, the new Harbinger quest, as well as this quest, look as though, well, I know in the Harbinger case, and in this case I'm almost positive, as though you can actually do this as many times as you want per character, per account, so long as you create a new character. It's fairly easy. I know that sounds daunting to create a new character, but it's really not, especially if you create two of the same character. Now, you could use this to power level if you wanted to, because you'll continually be getting pinnacles from the end of this, as well as the exotic itself with the random roll. You could do this in the Harbinger quest, and you can do it in this. So now this is just another way to do it. Another glitch that everybody should know. But again, it's only for people who are looking to power level. Now, to pick up this quest, to actually start it off, you'll want to queue up the Arms Dealer Strike. You don't have to do it as the Nightfall, even though it is the Nightfall ordeal this week. You can actually just queue up the normal strike. As soon as you enter the strike, you'll see the first little wave of enemies as you sort of make your way off to the left of the spawn, all gathered around that one sort of prompter there, that little television screen or portal. Normally you'll take a left at that portal and make your way outside, but instead you're just going to go straight, and you'll find fairly easily that there's a big gantry door that is open, as you'll see. You'll go through there, you'll run into little waves of Cabal bots, those little ones that shoot you, the turrets, as well as another yellow bar enemy. Just make your way through all the enemies, kill as many as you need, and make your way to the final gantry once you move outside. There's sort of a line of gantries that make their way to this final little box that has a scannable in it. You get the scannable, it'll tell you to go to Zavala. Zavala will then send you to the Tangled Shore, and you'll actually start the Presage mission or quest. Now, that is a fairly daunting quest. Like I said, the jumping puzzle in it is very much a 0 Hour or Harbingers style jumping puzzle. I would actually say that different from those two, this has much more problem solving. There's a lot more puzzle involved. There's a very interesting sort of dynamic of having to find specific objects to trigger other objects so that other things become exposed, so then you can actually move through different areas. I called them the eggs, or my fire team called them the eggs. Big shout out to Deathlord. He was also helping me with this run. He has a Twitch channel. I'll link it down below. But essentially, there were these big green balls of sort of goo-looking stuff. We didn't really know what to make of them at first. But we noticed that there were other rooms that almost kind of looked like they were sort of Taken inspired. They had sort of a blue mist around them. And if you even went near them, you couldn't move through them, and you would start to die if you just pinned up against the barrier. So we realized that you needed to shoot the green egg slime things to get a buff that allowed you to transition through these rooms. So you kind of needed to find every single one of these green eggs so that you could get this buff, so you can move through the next room before you actually could go any further. And sometimes they were hidden. So you'd have to find switches on walls that would sometimes expose another area that would allow you to move through to a place where you would find these other like nodes on the wall, similar to things that you would find in the 0 Hour mission, except they were like these little white, yellow, sparky things that you would shoot, and then they would open a door that would allow you usually to find one of these eggs that you would shoot to get the buff to move through. I know it sounds pretty complicated. It actually was, but it was very rewarding. I have to say, overall, I absolutely loved this quest altogether. So I'm just going to leave you with a little footage now, not of my entire run, but in just sort of the beginning jumping puzzle area, how you start the jumping puzzle in the actual Presage quest. And then I'll skip to the boss towards the end, just so you can kind of see what you're up against. There is another little sort of, I guess you call it code, that you have to enter for the boss room to actually do damage to the boss. There's 3 nodes scattered throughout the boss room on the first level. The boss room has 2 levels. As soon as you enter the boss room, the boss will be directly in front of you. You'll do 1 damage phase to him, and then he'll teleport to the bottom room. The bottom room has fire on the ground, so if you try to go down there, not only will he be immune to all damage, but you'll also die from fire damage. So you have to turn off the fire by 3 nodes that are on the top floor. One can be found at the boss spawn side of the room. One can be found at the side of the room as you enter, and then one can be found in this room in the middle of the top that actually also has fire on the floor. So you'll turn off the switch on the further side of the room where the boss spawns first. Then you have to make your way into the fire room, and then hit the switch on the room by the door where you enter. You have to do it in that order. You won't be able to scan them out of that order. And the fire room, you kind of just have to take the shot and hold off in there and just don't die, or don't have your entire fire team die while you hit that switch. It's a little bit of a timer on each, so make sure that you, maybe if you're a warlock, throw a well down right as you enter so that you can stay alive. Then you'll be able to move back downstairs. The floor will no longer be heated, and you'll be able to do damage to the boss as he won't be immune anymore. That's pretty much it. Then you'll do a phase. There will be a point where he'll become immune again. You have to go back upstairs and do the entire sequence again. Hit the switches in that same order, and then move back downstairs. Every single time in between phases, you'll get a group of ads on the second floor, so just be ready for that, because if you're not, then you'll die while you're trying to hide from the boss. So as you can see, this is one of the eggs that I was talking about. You hit that, you have to stand directly near it, and you get this buff. On this one, there was another one on the inside. And then you'll make your way into these tunnels. And that's pretty much all you need to know about the mechanics. I mean, there's other things that you have to find. There's switches on the walls that you'll sort of hear as you get near them. Obviously, hit the switches, and then shoot the damage nodes, the white ones. There is one really cool room in this thing that was very reminiscent of like Star Wars. They went with like a Star Wars, like, I don't know, objective theme with this. There's actually like a trash compactor room. In the trash compactor room, you get a group of ads, but then on the floor, you'll find all these grates, which are sort of a theme, grates that you have to shoot out in this. And in all the grates, you'll have these same damage nodes that will light up on the ground. And if you don't shoot all of them in the right amount of time, the walls actually start to close in on you and they'll crush you. So you have to kind of make your way along the floor, shoot out all the grates, look for the white nodes underneath them, and then shoot them as they light up. Otherwise, you'll get crushed. Great thing about that is that you only spawn right before that room, so you'll have to drop back down again. There's also another room that has a sort of like a trick door that if you go through it, it looks like it's the right way to go, but as soon as you drop through it, you just die on impact if you don't know to stop yourself from falling. There's several places where you, like I said, you need to know where you need to go, and then you need to go and find where the egg is so that you can get the buff so you can make through that room. In this case, it was the door directly behind where Deathlord was standing. We needed to go to the back of this room through this group of ads. There are ads occasionally, and then hit a switch that opened the door that gave us the buff. And this kind of progressively got a little bit more difficult. Originally, it was just sort of the switch and then the buff, but then there was other things like nodes that you had to shoot. So enjoy the rest of this little run. I won't show you all of it because this was my first run and I was just sort of figuring out stuff. But if you want a full run of this, you can leave a comment down below and maybe I'll upload a full, like, streamlined run of all the different places if you're having a hard time. But in general, every room that you go into will have at least a egg that you have to shoot to get a buff, and then a door to make it through, or a switch that requires a node, and that's just generally it. If you can figure out a way to use those glitches to get out of the map, I'm sure somebody will figure out a way to actually just jump different sections of this. Because like I said, there was a load zone that I hit. So that tells me that if I had tried killing myself there, I probably would have spawned inside. I didn't know where that load zone was, so I kind of didn't want to jump the gun too much. But yeah, maybe you guys can figure it out. If you can, leave that in the comment section down below as well. Stick around till the end for that secret hashtag you can leave in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you then. And thanks so much for watching all the way till the end of the video. Once you've completed that section and you go into that room where there was that really weird guardian all strung up, kind of cool looking room though. Hopefully maybe they do something more with that. That was honestly fairly interesting. Head back over to Zavala. He'll have your Dead Man's Tale for you. Also, weirdly, there was all these little portal things. I don't know if you saw them. They looked like those little blue scanner plate things. They were scattered throughout this entire quest, so I don't know what those are for, but I have a feeling that they're going to be for something a lot later. There was also one of those in the Harbinger quest, I believe, right at the beginning. But in any case, for the secret hashtag, you can leave in the comments section today. Leave a hashtag Season of the Chosen, or a hashtag Beyond Light, or a hashtag Dead Man's Tale. And as always, thank you all so much for watching the entire video. I am Wilhelm Scream. Of course, we will see you next time. Little.